cars headed out on the track for race 2, with the usual suspects of Lee Burgess, Alan Price, and the historic challenger John Smith up front, with Adam Lung, Darren Harrison, and Jason Liddell tucked in behind. The lights went green and the Formula Fords were off for race 2. Alan Price immediately got a slight jump on Lee Burgess off the mark. However, Lee had the inside line and led into turn 1. Behind them, Adam Lung got away well ahead of Richard Goddard and John Smith, who had a great tussle into the first corner with Jason Liddell and Jared McLeod rounding out the top 7. Just behind them, Robert Rowe was also doing a great job in 8th place, with a host of talent behind him: David Holland, Gavin Dumas and Ryan Campbell, to name a few. Then the historic cars led by John Pimble, with Cass Gallart and Stephen Weller close at hand. But by lap 2, disaster strikes, with Matt McGill into the wall at turn 10, bringing out the safety car for several laps. Thankfully Matt was okay, but left him with a lot of work to do in order to make race 3. With the damaged car removed from the track, it was back to racing, with Lee Burgess getting the jump on Alan Price, with John Smith only just ahead of Adam Long, who was building up pace rapidly. Further back it was Darren Harrison and Jason Liddell, in front of an extremely close bunch featuring Robert Rowe, David Holland, Gavin Dumas and Ryan Campbell, with less than a second separating them all. But by lap 5, the race was slowed again, with Dave Chitty going off the track after turn 2, effectively ending his weekend. A couple of laps later, the sprint was on for the line, with Adam Lung and John Smith having a great tussle for third, and Alan Price not quite having enough to catch Lee Burgess for the win. Behind them, Darren Harrison managed to keep Jason Liddell at bay for 5th place, whilst Robert Rowe held on to beat Dave Holland and Gavin Dumas ahead of Ryan Campbell, rounding out the top 10. The Historics were led home with an amazing drive from John Smith, who had sent a clear message to the frontrunners all weekend, ahead of John Pimble and the class champ for 2009, Cass Gallart. Norm Vesti did well to get ahead of Jeff Sr., with Michael Hinrichs, Emma Brown, Adrian Migliorino all coming within a second of each other. All in all, a bit of a frustrating race in terms of stoppages, but still a great spectacle from pit wall.